True Sky Leo, welcome to your reading for the month of June. So the main deck that I'm using at the moment is the Sacred Circle Tarot, and on the bottom of the deck we have for you Disillusion, 10 of Swords. So this month could be not the easiest month. It is the shadow energy of the deck, however, so I wouldn't put too much relevance on it, but there could be an underlying energy of significant change and loss, but you needing to move on from it. The first card we have, however, is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is a very empathic masculine force. He's a leader. It's often associated with the water signs, so your Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone with those signs, predominant in their chart. And also the King of Cups, in this tarot deck, we have on the card with our king the blackberries, which are linked to the Seed here, the fairy folk of the mounds, and that their juice is said to represent the blood of the earth pressed smooth. They drink it around the time of Herfest, and that it's at this time that he becomes the king of the underworld until the time of rebirth at Yule. So he rules over that autumn equinox into the winter time, and that he also is accompanied by the dog, which is a companion and a guard, and a guardian of the threshold of the underworld treasure and the boundaries between the worlds. The dog is often seen as conveying the soul to the other world. In some legends of the underworld, the entrance is through water, and ghostly dogs lead travelers into pools and drown the unprepared. This represents the perilous journey of the spirit into the underworld of the subconscious mind toward the true self. So he very much rules over, linked with the unconscious life and the soul, where feelings reside. So he's very much linked to sensitivity, reflection, and he's also a very impressionable figure. So this could be a person in your life at this time, or it could be elements that you need to learn yourself. The next card we have is the Warrior. And so in this deck, it's a female. Obviously, it's often a female. There are other decks that do have male figures. Often in the Rider-Waite, it's a lion that she's taming. I mean, in this deck, it's not even called, it's called the Warrior. It's not called Strength, which is the traditional card. And in this deck, we have here the Warrior, Scathach, who is the Irish-British warrior woman who trains the hero Cuchulainn in her school for warriors. So this card is very much linked though to the psychic warrior and how we can use our body, mind and spirit as weapons, and that they need to be trained to work in harmony, that we need spiritual courage to hone our will, and that impulse and desires, or even willpower, from other cards can be channeled into an unwavering strength that seeks the personal truth and path. So it suggests you will have an opportunity to put plans into action. It's got powerful forward-moving energies indicating that you can master adverse circumstances through your determination and courage. However, you need to be firm. You must not be aggressive or lose your temper, as this will make you lose your ground. Keep a clear head and calm demeanor, and remember to be magnanimous in victory. Spiritually, it's a card about the development of the will, and that you can do much more than you imagine, that you can break your self-imposed limits. This time, you must find your own truth. Test and push yourself. Run that extra mile, swim the extra 2 lengths, dig the extra few yards. So it's asking you to apply strength to what it is you're doing at this time. And this is the crowning card for you for this month. So I think it's a great card for Leo. I mean, Leos are known for their strength. The next card we have is the card of rebirth. So this card definitely does signify that you have been going through some challenging times and that you're coming through it. And there is a sense of rebirth after this. It does even indicate that this rebirth will be linked to like past actions. There's like a divine quality to it, and that learning and growing is like the most important things really that we can do in our lives. So it has a very profound meaning. However, it very much indicates that your past actions are shaping your present, and you'll be rewarded or punished accordingly. It says you will move forward with new energy and resolution. It always represents a definite step. Surrounding cards do affect it. However, it still symbolizes recovery of health and vitality, like if it's upright anyway, which it is. Spiritually, it heralds profound change in your consciousness. Insights reveal the person you are now as a result of past actions and choices. So, the next card we have is number 16, which is the card of initiation. So this is like traditionally the Tower card. However, in this deck, it has a different energy. The Tower card in this deck is 15. And in this, in the Rider-Waite deck, it's 16 is the card of the Tower. So this one has similar with the rebirth in a sense that it's linked to rebirth, death, renewal. Like it's the initiation of you basically, which all of these experiences are very initiatory, and it is linked to rites of passage, marks of transition from one period of life to another, and that it indicates that at this time will mark such a transition, that the success of an enterprise depends on cooperation and consideration of others. Existing relationships can reach new levels of happiness and fulfillment by taking time to understand and accept the feelings of your partner. It also indicates spiritual initiation and a new state of consciousness. It marks the dawning of spiritual awareness and joy. It's a card of balance and harmony, and also indicates a relationship of give and take. The next card we have is another major arcana. You have a lot of major arcanas this month, Leo. So the next card we have is our Empress card, which in this deck is called the Lady. And she represents the importance of connecting with the earth and with reality and being grounded. She acknowledges the precious gift that is the body, and that this is how we experience the beauties of the world, like through our body, and the simple pleasures of life. There's a wisdom in recognizing that all the cycles of life are equally valid and that all things have their season. So it's a good time to recognize the time to act and the time to wait patiently for things to mature. It heralds a harmonious and successful phase in your life, full of beauty and pleasure. You may be expecting a child, or perhaps you've begun a new creative project. Relationships with friends and family are happy and loving. Also, it indicates good health. Spiritually, it's a great time for creativity and progress, especially in accordance with others. And it's especially good to be aware of your connection to the goddess and that she is love and spiritual nourishment. So interesting that you have the lady as your central card. So maybe this is you, Leo, for the month. Maybe you are expecting a child, or you know, you're getting really in touch with the earth and you know, the pleasures of the world. And then this one is suggesting to be strong with that. It's also linked to the rebirth. So maybe there's like a rebirth of this in your life, something you've already experienced. There's like a new level. So our next card for you is the Four of Swords, which is the card of rest. So this is saying that at this time, this month, you really need to take some time to rest. Rest your mind, rest your body, you know, rest your heart, your emotions, your spirit. It's really important, which is interesting that we did have that rebirth, which heralded good health, and also the lady. So this is really important for your health, this time of rest. The next card we have is the Six of Wands. So this one definitely signifies success and victory, and especially in regards to projects that you may have started that are going out into the world and you're getting recognition for your good work. Then as the base of the matter for this month for you, we have Ace of Cups, spirituality, which is a very spiritual card. It's linked to new emotional opportunities. This can be love. It doesn't have to be. It can be friendship, or it can be on other in other areas of your life as well. But there is like an offer there. And the next one, the last one we have, is another major arcana, which is the Shaman, and he is like our Hermit card. And he's very much about doing the inner work and making sure that we really take in the world through our five senses, as this helps us to expand your consciousness and understanding to take into account other more subtle realms. From childhood, we're often taught to suppress this ability, like instincts, intuition, clairvoyance. The shaman is learning to recover these senses, to unlearn thought structures that have been instilled as he developed the constant mental reinforcement of his existing perceptions of the world that prevent other levels of consciousness becoming apparent. So it's a good time to show prudence, stand back from current events, keep a distance so you can make a clearer evaluation of what's going on. Be careful with your planning and not act at this time. On a deeper level, it can be a period of isolation where you come to know yourself better and learn to rely on yourself rather than others. Spiritually, it's an important time when you will receive illumination from within. So what a powerful month so far you're having, Leo. So the next cards I'm going to read from are the Green Witch Tarot, And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands does indicate that you may be feeling a bit defensive at this time. You know, there may have been a lot going on around you and you're really feeling like you need to kind of put things into order and, you know, get everything, you know, right, because there's some challenge coming up. It's like you feel it kind of thing. So for a King of Cups, we actually have the Two of Chalices. So this can definitely indicate a new love offer or relationship coming in. Doesn't have to be love. Interesting that it's with the King of Cups. So this could be a who's coming in for you, or potentially this is what you're learning through this experience. Then we have the Sun to clarify the Warrior. So the Sun is a really strong card of like victory and success. So you needing to be strong about things is really important at this time to overcome whatever it is you're trying to overcome. And if you do, you will be successful. Then for our rebirth card, we have the High Priestess. Wow. So seriously, rely on your gut instincts and your intuition at this time. So this rebirth card was talking about past actions and, you know, the future consequences and what's going to come out of that. The High Priestess, she's the one that knows. She just knows. So you need to incorporate that knowing into your actions, and then you will know basically what will come out of them. It's very nice pairing. For the Initiation card, which was about life passages and transitions, we have the Two of Earth Themes. So this card very much talks about decision making is really important at this time, and that you need to be putting your mental powers and your efforts into things that actually matter to you and not wasting your energy. For our central card of the Lady, you have the Two of Pentacles. So this one's very much about weighing up options in your life, and also it's linked to the material realm. So you may have to make decisions about, you know, what to do with your material resources, like what's more important, you know, prioritize, you know, how you're spending your money, you know, all that kind of thing. And then for the Four of Swords, which is about rest, we have the Seath, which are like the fairy folk, and it's a very magical card. It's equivalent in the normal tarot is the Temperance card. So as you can see, she's pouring out into the cauldron from her, looks like a beer flask. Yeah, so this is all about balance, this card, and, you know, working with nature and the natural forces. So moderation, balance, you know, all these like virtues. And so it's really important to balance that with this rest. So obviously resting too much isn't a great idea. We do need a certain amount of stress in our lives to be healthy. So obviously you've got to balance. And there's a lot of balancing here. We've got the two twos there. Then we have, for the Six of Wands, the Success, we have the Holy King, which is once again talking about this introspective energy, you know, seeking your own inner light, seeking your own inner wisdom, holding back, you know, seeking the answers from within. So that's interesting. So we've got that energy twice here for you. And then for the Ace of Cups, the spiritual offer, new beginning on an emotional level, we have the Ten of Chalices. So this is like total emotional fulfillment, to clarify that. So that is lovely. So open yourself up to this new emotional opportunity, because it's going to lead to something really lovely. And then for the Shaman, we have the Green Man. So this is all about a new journey beginning. There's a new like shamanic journey beginning in your life. How exciting. That's really amazing. The shaman and the green man. The next cards I'm going to pull from, is the Green Witch Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck we have Moon, Phases, Cycles, Intuition. So we haven't had the Moon card exactly today except for that one, but we did have the Moon in the High Priestess card, which is linked. So yeah, there could be some link to the Moon here for you this month. I mean, we just had the Moon last month, so we haven't had any Moon cycles this month yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. Of course, we've always got Moon cycles going on. I just meant that the full moon or the new moon hasn't happened yet. But we're really early in the month, so. But maybe around one of those significant, like the full moon or the new moon is coming up next. Could be quite significant for you this month as well. So the first card we have is Time, and this is to clarify the Sun. Presence and self-awareness. So yes, remember to be you. You know, Leo is such a warm, bright, sunny sign, and your presence and self-awareness is so important. You know, being in the now, and with this Sun card, I mean, that's your ruling planet. So then we have Mortar and Pestle, integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. So, wow, this is for the Two of Pentacles. So, yeah, you really need to be making good decisions with your material resources at this time. You know, maybe you would really love to be this indulgent lady and just, you know, living through the senses all the time. But you're going to need to balance these resources and be thorough and integrate, you know, what it is you need to do. Then we have Summer. So I'm not sure where you are, but if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I believe you've just entered summer. So interesting that we got the Summer card and the Sun card for you for this month. So it's expansion and growth, the energies, and this is for the Ten of Chalices. So maybe you are starting a family. I mean, we have the Lady, we have the Cup, and we also have the Ten of Chalices. So maybe you are starting a family this summer. Your family's expanding and growing. How lovely. There's some kind of expansion and growth like linked to this emotional satisfaction and linked with summer. So the next cards we're going to read from are the Nature Speak Oracle, and on the bottom of the deck we have Apple, Believe in Your Dreams. First card is Violet, Keep Things Simple. Then we have Mountain, Spiritual Quest. Interesting, because we do have quite a few spiritual cards. You know, we had the Rebirth, the Initiation, the Shaman as well. So that's our central message there. Spiritual Quest, Ancient Teachings, Redwood. Lovely. So there's an expansion and growth in ancient teachings. The next cards I'm going to pull from are the Earth Magic Oracle. On the bottom of the deck we have Iceberg, Submerged, and we have Rainbow, Blessings. And that's interesting because we do have the Sun card underneath that rainbow there. At some point, not initially, it's a couple of cards down. However, blessings, keep things simple. Yeah, keeping things simple can be a real blessing. It's true. Sometimes when you complicate things, it just, you know, it just makes things harder. Oh, wow, you got the Green Man. So your central card is Green Man, Synergy. spiritual quest. So, and you got the green man also with the shaman earlier. So we've had the green man doubled here as well. I'm just going to read a bit from the book for that one because it's your central card. Synergy. Green man is Earth's vegetation personified. He has many variations. This card depicts a more subtle and embedded representation. In other portrayals, he resembles the face of a man covered in green foliage or branches and vines sprouted from every direction. There exists some form of green man throughout history and in a myriad of cultures throughout the world, often a symbol for the rebirth of life in the springtime. He's also been associated with the Lord of the Wild Wood. Green Man reminds us of the incredible synergy required for Gaia to maintain her delicate and dynamic balance among various beings on the planet. Synergy is the interaction and cooperation of two or more elements that produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate efforts. We witness this in the complex and cooperative interaction between plants, humans, and animals. For instance, fruit trees propagate by being eaten by an animal and then it deposits back into the earth after digestion. As a new plant grows, bees pollinate the flowers and the cycle begins once again in nature's simple yet remarkable synergy. You have the advantage of an incredible synergy at this time. A flow of life is guiding you where things just seem to fall into place as you move about your business. You are in a mutually cooperative interaction with spirit as your will is aligned with the will of spirit and your mission is congruent with your sense of purpose. When this is happening, there is a synergy, a way that your life force is continually coming into balance with the forces of nature. There is also a synergy between your spiritual awareness and your personal self or ego. Be aware of the various idiosyncrasies of your ego and do not take any of them too seriously. Know that your higher self is always looking out for your best interests. In this cycle, tune into that guidance, however it shows up, and you will find that you'll move through life with greater ease due to a synergistic balance of forces expressing themselves as you. So that's a lovely card for the central, and especially here linked with this spiritual quest. It's really lovely, which needs to be integrated. Then the last one we have here for the Earth Magic Oracle is DNA Karma. So there could be some karmic energies here at play. I mean, there always is really, but this month specifically for you and linked to some ancient teachings. So maybe you'll even get a feeling in your body. I mean, it's the DNA, isn't it? So it's about something like within on this microscopic level. Maybe you'll get a feeling about some ancient teachings that you need to explore and that, will lead to this expansion and growth and this emotional satisfaction this month. The next cards I'm going to pull from are the Australian Wildflower cards. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Flannel Flower, Calm. I love the flannel flowers. I always noticed them in the bush when I was a child, and I feel like they do have quite a strong resonance with children. They're a bit like a daisy, but their leaves are like a flannelly kind of texture, like really, really soft. So they feel really nice to touch. Your first card for the month for the crowning card pile is Waratah, Survival. So survival is a really strong energy, obviously. And what a blessing it is, you know. It is a real blessing, life. Leshnautia. We got success for your central card. And we got the success with the synergy. So this is going to be a successful period for you to incorporate multiple factors of your life into some spiritual quest. It's going to be a success. It's going to be a successful month for you, Leo. And then we also have Grevillea, creativity. And this is linked with the karma and the DNA. So this is also reminding me of the rebirth card with about the choices, past actions leading to future consequences, which very much is a creative process and a karmic process. And also the DNA. You know, this is the choices of all of our ancestors. Like, we are the culmination of the choices of however many billions, I guess, of people we go back through. But anyway, this is your reading for the month of June. And this month, there's not a lot of major things happening in the sky for TrueskyLeo. We do have the South Node still in Leo though. So it is interesting we did get the card of karma because the South Node. So yeah, interesting that you did get the DNA and also like the lessons about, you know, past actions and consequences and all that, which is linked with that karmic kind of energy. And the South Node's very much linked with that. So we also have currently Mars in True Sky Aries, which would be trining, could be trining your Leo placements, which would give you a lot of energy. And it's interesting, we did get the Warrior card there, which is, you know, it is about, you know, going that extra mile and digging that extra depth and, you know, swimming that extra mile and all that. You know, it's like pushing yourself, which is very Martian, Mars type of energy. So you've got that kind of on your side this month. And then we do have currently quite a few planets in Gemini. So they would be like sextiling the Leo placements. They will move though. So Jupiter will move soon and Venus, they're going to conjoin and then they're moving into True Sky Cancer. And then eventually later on in the month, Mercury. And then we also have currently we have the Sun in Taurus, in True Sky Taurus at the moment still, and Uranus, and they could be squaring your Leo placements. So this could bring some challenging energy in, and it's interesting that in the center of the reading we did have the Two of Pentacles, which was linked to you know, balancing your financial situation, and Taurus is often linked to financial situations. Also Leo, so there is that there with both of them. And then Uranus is very much about change, and we do have, it's the Green Man, but it's like the Fool card basically of this deck. So it's a new cycle, which Uranus is often linked to sudden changes and that kind of energy. So yeah, this is your reading for the month of June. I hope you have a fantastic month. I'm wishing you all the best. And if you've made it this far and you got anything out of the reading, if you could like, comment and or subscribe if you haven't already, that would be wonderful. And if you have already, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the interaction that I get in here, and I'll be back again soon with another reading. So take care. Bye.